Disney's Chronicles of Narnia adaptations ended after just 3 films, and there are a few reasons why. Written by C.S. Lewis, the Chronicles of Narnia books are an iconic 7-volume series, regarded as some of the greatest children's fantasy of all time. They've been adapted multiple times, with The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe being developed as a TV series in the 1960s, 1970s, and 1980s. The 80s version, which was brought to life for BBC, actually managed to cover the first 4 novels. In the 2000s, Walden Media and Walt Disney Pictures obtained the rights to develop film adaptations, which became the definitive versions for many young audiences in the 2000s. The 2005 adaptation of Lewis's first novel featured Liam Neeson as Aslan, Tilda Swinton as the White Witch, and an excellent cast of young actors to play the Pevensey children. The Disney versions of the best Narnia adaptations available, but they only made it through 3 of the books before being discontinued. Now, Netflix is taking a stab at the iconic fantasy franchise with Greta Gerwig's Narnia movies. Conflicts between Disney and Walden contributed to the Narnia movies ending early. Disney abandoned the franchise after Prince Caspian. Disney and Walden's Narnia franchise got off to a fantastic start with The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe in 2005, which grossed $745 million. At the time, Narnia seemed like a title that could grow to rival the likes of Harry Potter and The Lord of the Rings, but the companies almost immediately began to experience issues. The release date for the next film, Prince Caspian, was delayed until the summer of 2008, finding its release just between Iron Man and Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Prince Caspian performed far below expectations, and Disney immediately withdrew their involvement in the series. This left Walden to scramble to find a collaborating distribution company for the 3rd installment, eventually teaming with 20th Century Fox for The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Without Disney, the Narnia franchise struggled to live up to its once possible potential. The Chronicles of Narnia movies' box office returns played a role in the decision. Each Narnia movie declined in box office and critical acclaim. Prince Caspian in the original Chronicles of Narnia movies. It's incredibly difficult to keep the momentum going with a film franchise. In some cases, like Dune or the Dark Knight trilogy, a sequel can overtake the acclaim for the original and result in an increase in box office and cultural acclaim. As for Disney's Narnia series, Prince Caspian was a far less popular follow-up to the first film, and the 2nd and 3rd installments fell short of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe's box office by a significant margin. See the chart below for the box office info and review score for each installment. Not only did Prince Caspian have a lower box office yield, but it also had an increased budget of $225 million, meaning it would have, in theory, had to earn about $600 to hit the ideal profit numbers. The Voyage of the Dawn Treader had a much lower budget of $145 million, and the resulting effect was a significantly worse movie, with a 49% score on Rotten Tomatoes. While there was certainly a pool of audiences who hoped for a 4th installment, 3 declining movies over a 5-year period didn't signify a worthy investment for another. Netflix's Narnia remake is an opportunity to adapt C.S. Lewis's entire series. Greta Gerwig could succeed where Disney and Walden failed. Greta Gerwig from Lola vs. with a Chronicles of Narnia poster. With Barbie director Greta Gerwig on board to develop Netflix's first 2 Chronicles of Narnia movies, the modern remakes could be the first films to adapt the entire series. Gerwig is undoubtedly the most talented director to be involved with the title, and she could provide C.S. Lewis's adaptations with a definitive film version, equivalent to what Peter Jackson did for The Lord of the Rings. If she puts together the right cast and lays the foundation for a complete series, audiences could eventually get to see the last battle play out on screen. Importantly, Greta Gerwig is only on board to direct the first 2 films, and the state of the franchise after those 2 is far from determined. Directing a 7-film series is an immense challenge, as they'll need to maintain popularity over the span of at least 15 years and find success with multiple filmmakers' differing visions. Not to mention, the Chronicles of Narnia books don't keep a consistent cast of characters, so the films wouldn't be as direct and fluid as the Harry Potter movies. It'll be a huge but worthwhile challenge for Netflix.